In the previous video, we learnt about the angels, how they came into being, how do they work, and most importantly, what we as Catholics believe about the angels. In this part, likewise, we will try to know about demons and clear our doubts about them based on Christian understanding. Demons. The concept of demons and the devil has entered Christian belief from various cultures. The English word demon is derived from the Greek word daimon, which simply meant a divine being. It is only later that it was used to refer to evil spirits as opposed to God who torment humans. Such belief was eventually spiritualized and organized even to the point of putting all demons under a chief and leader, the devil or Satan. Thus, according to our Christian tradition, demons are fallen angels, divinely created supernatural beings who, under the leadership of Satan, rebelled against God. The Old Testament mostly speaks of evil spirits instead of demons. For Jews, both the good as well as bad came from God directly or through His ambassadors, the angels. Popular Israelite belief, however, laid more stress on the power of evil spirits. They believed in various kinds of evil spirits like the Nephilim of Genesis chapter 6 verses 1 to 4. The Nephilim were believed to be children born of fallen angels and humans. Some others were called Sedim, Seirim, and Lilith, whom they believed haunted the wastelands and prowled the night. However, in the later books of the Old Testament like Tobit and non-biblical writings like the Book of Enoch and other writings of Jesus' time, demons became much more important and were known by various names. They were regarded not only as causing man physical harm, but also as seducing them to moral evil, and thus were considered as God's enemies. The New Testament reflects these ideas that developed and were current among the Jews of the time. The New Testament also contains many references to devil, demons, and unclean spirits. Jesus himself cured many people of demons and unclean spirits. They are seen as those who tempt, corrupt, and take away humans from God. They can even cause physical and mental injury to humans. Tradition of the fallen angels. The book of Genesis tells us everything that God created was good. But we may ask, how do evil creatures like the devil, demons, or evil spirits come into being? Church tradition has a belief in what we so often hear as fallen angels. As I said earlier, angels and other heavenly beings were created before any other earthly creatures. According to Saint Gregory the Great, God gifted them with reason and freedom to make their personal and moral decisions just as He did for humans. Thus, eventually, some angels sinned against God by going against Him, and according to the gravity of the offense, they were thrown out of God's presence and thus came to be known as demons. In the Old Testament, there is no mention of fallen angels or of battles in heaven. Only the later Jewish writings like the Book of Enoch speak of demons as fallen angels whose fall consisted either in having sexual intercourse with women, as said earlier about Nephilim, or in rebelling against God under the leadership of Satan. The Church believes that all that God created was good, and even before the devil and the demons could become bad by their disobedience to God, they were good by nature. The Church, however, has never declared authoritatively the way in which angels sinned to become the devil and demons. Our understanding of fallen angels is from the book of Revelations, chapter 12, verses 7 to 9. It describes war in heaven, in which the archangel Michael and his angels fight against Satan and his fallen angels. In the second letter of Saint Peter, chapter 2, verse 4, there is a mention to angels sinning and God casting them to hell. Satan and Lucifer. Satan, or the devil, as a chief of demons, is a Christian understanding. In the Old Testament, especially in the book of Job, Job chapter 1, verse 8, Satan is only seen as a servant of God and an adversary of man sent to test humans and accuse them of their wrongdoings. It is only in the New Testament that Satan, or the devil, is seen as an evil force. He is opposed to God and seeks to alienate all men from God. Therefore, he is a dangerous foe to every Christian. References are Luke chapter 8, verse 33, first letter of St. Paul to the Corinthians, chapter 7, verse 5, and the first letter of St. Peter, chapter 5, verse 8. We must resist him, says chapter 2 of the second letter of Corinthians in verse 11. Satan works his evil will by tempting persons, John chapter 13, verse 2, Acts chapter 5, verse 3. By hindering God's workers, first letter of St. Paul to the Thessalonians, chapter 2, verse 18. By accusing Christians before God, Revelations chapter 12, verse 10. According to Christian understanding, the sin of Satan was pride. With his pride, he rejected God. We have another name in the list of which we so often come across in movies, books, and other literature. It was made famous by a TV series in its name, Lucifer. The name Lucifer is mostly understood as a synonym for Satan. However, the background behind the use of this name has quite a different story to it. Lucifer is a Latin word meaning light bearer. It was used to refer to the planet Venus, which appeared in the evening and in the morning as the brightest object in the sky. In the Bible, it is found in Isaiah chapter 14, verse 12. I quote, "How you are fallen from heaven, O day star, son of the dawn! You have been cast down to the earth, you who once laid low the nations." Unquote. Here the word day star is translated as Lucifer. Prophet Isaiah never used it to refer to Satan, but he used it to refer to the king of Babylon, who was the most powerful of that time, and who desired to be above God, but was defeated. He in fact borrowed it from a story that was quite common in his time. It was about a morning star that had attempted to rise high above the clouds and take the highest place among the gods, thus becoming the ruler of the world. Its attempts were ruined when it was cast out into the underworld. This story served, in the purpose of Isaiah, as an excellent example to the pride and aspirations of the king of Babylon. It was only in the later period that the Christian tradition used it to refer to Satan. This belief came from the reference of Isaiah chapter 14, verse 12 and Luke 10, 18, where Jesus himself speaks of the fall of Satan, and in connection to Revelation chapter 12, verses 7 to 10, where Saint Michael is seen as fighting Satan and his angels. What message can we take for our life from angels and fallen beings? We have two characters before us, the angels and the demons. Whom will you choose? Without any doubt, I am sure we will always choose the angels. Have you ever wondered why our parents say, "You are my angel," whenever we do something good? He is such an angel is our expression for someone of good character and behavior. We would never want others see us as bad characters. We all have a desire to be good and to be called good by others. For that we have the beautiful example of the angels today. So from today, let us pray to our guardian angel for protection and help in our life.